On one fateful day, the 13th of July 2020, I came across this. I watched it and got so emotional. It was a video made by Jaden Animations called The Best Pokemon Game You Never Played. Well, sorry to disappoint you, Jaden, but I also have played Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia. And I'm so happy you made this video cause I too think that this is the best Pokemon game of all time. A few days after, I see people reacting to this video, and I thought to myself that I should react to this video as well cause this was my childhood. So instead of doing a reaction, I think I'll do a review of her video. If possible, I'll see if I can find anything that she hasn't covered and I'll try to cover on it. If you want to play the game yourself, I suggest you come back later. You've been warned. So,
now sit down and get comfy
and enjoy the video.
I just played one of the best Pokemon games ever, and I'm here to tell you all about it. I'm a huge Pokemon fan. Ruby was one of the first video games I remember owning, and I've decided to devote the rest of my life and soul to the franchise. And by that, I mean I'll play the new games when they come out. Do I have to like them? No. Frankly, I think the past few recent ones have been kinda garbage.
Same.
But that won't stop me from getting my hopes up thinking the next game will be different, even though deep down, we all know it won't be.
Remember when Pokemon Sword and Shield came out, people were speculating about Pokemon Gun? And all the Rotom guns just keep popping up on the web.
There's one franchise that I feel like doesn't get talked about nearly as much as it deserves, and that's Pokemon Ranger. When I remembered Pokemon Ranger existed, I decided to look it up and see if it was worth possibly making a video on, and that's when I realized there were actually 3 Pokemon Ranger games. Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia, and Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs.
Wait, can we just stop and appreciate how detailed her artwork is? I can't imagine how long it took her to draw that.
Bit of a Pokemon Ranger mouthful, but I digress. I was looking at some forums of people discussing which one they thought was the best, and the Shadows of Almia one seemed to be high on a lot of people's lists. So I bought the game. Now sit down and get comfy because I just played this game for the first time, and I'm here to tell you about why it's the best game ever.
You bet it is.
The game starts off with your character taking the entrance exam to a Pokemon Ranger school, and it only took me 2 attempts to draw 5 consecutive circles around this barely moving Pikachu. You're dang right that's impressive. I guess that's all it takes, because now I'm officially a member of this secret army for this inscrutable team school plotting to rule the world. Oh, he's just kidding. Yeah, it's a normal school. I'm introduced to my class, and for some reason, it's this Keith kid looking at me with a big grin.
Alright kids, if you see someone grinning at you like that for more than 5 seconds, run. Just run. Don't look back. He's probably a dealer.
Anyway, you go sit next to Keith. Oh, okay, just plop me right next to him. Yeah, I don't mind or anything. Thanks, Teach. Anyway, you get a tour of the school from this girl with me, meeting the other teacher, Mr. Kinsaid, who's apparently a stickler for making sure kids don't run in the hall, and this kid Isaac that Rhythmy called Mushroom Hair. Both my IQ and my height in centimeters are 163. Alright, bud. After getting a feel for the school, you're taught how to capture Pokemon with your styler. Loops portray the feeling of friendship, so the more loops you draw around the Pokemon, the more it will submit to your friendship. That's nice.
Now, I said that Pokemon Ranger is my favorite game and all, but hearing this again, it just sounds wrong.
You finish the school day and are fast asleep in the dorms when all the students decide it's initiation time. Get up, sleepyhead, it's 4 a.m. Time for your student initiation. Yes, sirs. They tell you to find all 4 of the stylers they've hidden around the giant school, and after doing so, you have to put them in the basement for some reason. So you head down there after finding them all, and are in the basement when, why are you down here? Only I'm permitted to be in the basement. Leave now!
I remember playing this when I was really young and I was really scared of the music. Oh, you think Lavender Town was scary? Wait till you hear this.
The rest of the school year goes on without any big problems. Pokemon Ranger Crawford comes and talks about what it's like to be a ranger. You attend a one-day internship at the local Pokemon Ranger base and they make you bring them their lunch as an important mission.
When you think about it, this is very realistic. When you apply for an internship, most likely your boss is gonna ask you to buy lunch or serve tea. That's why I love this game so much, it's so down to earth.
Actually, while you're at the internship, someone runs over and says the Pokemon on the beach are acting strange. You go with the Rangers to check it out to see all the Pokemon going crazy, and save the day by capturing them with your loops of friendship. Finally, you make it to graduation. You start working at the Pokemon Ranger base you interned at. There's a call about some more Pokemon acting strange down in a nearby cave, so your first mission is to investigate what's going on. In the cave, you stumble upon this weird missile-looking machine that seems to be what's hypnotizing the Pokemon in its vicinity and making them go crazy. So you destroy it and everyone's proud of you. This Professor Hastings guy is called down from the Pokemon Union to take a look at the cave machine, and I guess he's like 100 years old or something because the Rangers want you to go meet him halfway in Puel Town to make sure he doesn't get lost and die along the way.
Mr. Hastings is incredible. I don't have footage of him in the first game, but as far as I know, he's been in all 3 installments of the Ranger games. Maybe he retired, that's why the Ranger series died.
You take one step in town, and oh god, all the Pokemon are going nuts. Turns out there's more of those rocket machines planted in the town, and as you're going around smashing them, you run into some guys that are not only very shady, but also terribly shifty. They run away to tell their leaders there's Pokemon Rangers smashing their stuff, and further into the town you find them again with their admin, who's like, dude, what the heck? What do you have against our Giga Remos, you vandals? Treat things with respect. And then attacks me with Rattata and a Toxicroak. Not gonna lie, their battle music kinda bangs though.
Just watch this being the next viral thing on the web. 2019 was the Fortnite dance. And 2020 would be this.
Turns out they're part of this gang called Team Dim Sum.
Hey, they're called Team Dim Sum, okay? Don't mix them up.
And after capturing their Pokemon with friendship loops, they decide to retreat. We're able to find Professor Hastings and bring him back to the base to analyze what we now know are Giga Remo machines. And now the Pokemon Union starts getting involved. You catch him having a secret base and cargo ship in the middle of a volcano, which Mr. Kincaid is found to be part of Dim Sum. Big surprise, didn't see that one coming. You haven't been running in the ship's hallways, have you?
I don't read a lot of books, so I think that was the first experience of a plot twist in my entire life. Also, this was the midway point when the bosses started to get harder bit by bit. They have these cutscenes before every fight, and honestly, I think they're much better than the versus scenes we have in the main series games.
You catch them mining hundreds of dark crystal shards in an abandoned mine. Apparently there is the mother of all shadow crystals. They are powerful enough to power this incredible machine they're in the middle of developing and helicoptered away to their headquarters. Probably should tell someone about that. But the good thing is we ended up finding the diary of the Dim Sum president's father, who writes about how if we gather these 3 gems called the Tears of Princes, the gems will be able to combine their power and negate the power of the Shadow Crystal. The first gem is told to be in this giant ice castle called Alima Castle. You make it to the castle after swimming through a bunch of ocean boulders and whirlpools that totally didn't slow me down at all.
Yeah, they were hard for me too. The puzzles in this game are much more challenging than the ones in the main series games. As for Sword and Shield,
and end up at the castle where Dim Sum is already running around in trying to get the gem first. You're introduced to one of the members of Team Dim Sum's Sinistrio, Ice. I don't know what his deal is, but he called me Jaden Noob and then dabbed, so I had to murder him. The guy from school, Keith, who's a ranger now, was assigned to get the yellow gem and hasn't come back yet, so the Union's like, alright, Jaden, go check on him. You hop on a boat to the destination, but whoops, apparently a whale lord is in trouble. These Dim Sum grunts are trying to kidnap a whale lord, and after destroying the machines that were trapping it, they decide to just grab a whalmer instead and try to convince their boss it's a whale lord mini. Down a hall, you discover the grunts squishing the whalmer through the door, and as you follow them into the room, they're like, oh crap, shoot, do you want to deal with the ranger? Oh no, I'm too wimpy. I know. Let's apologize. Sorry. We got the Ranger's confidence. And then all of them just grab me and shove me out of the room and lock it. Which honestly is more effective than like 99% of all video game villains.
that's why I like this game so much.
So you keep running through the base and end up actually finding mushroom-haired Isaac from Ranger School. He's been manipulated into building Dim Sum's incredible machine, and we agree to take him back to the Union after we finish up our business in the secret hideout. We finally encounter Mr. Kincaid, who's manning the whale lord operation. He's being all maniacal, but we successfully capture his Gliscor, save Whalmer, and bring Isaac safely back to the Union, where he gives us access to the incredible machine blueprints.
Now, I don't know if this is true, but the last scene that Mr. Kincaid was in, he was in a submarine being chased by a whale lord. and then we never see him again, so... My theory is that he got killed by that whale lord. Yeah, it's kinda dark.
The Union makes a plan to have their top rangers go and fly to Dim Sun's headquarters and face them head on. Jaden, you can just sit in the corner and do nothing. But right as they leave to do that, the Sinus Trio busts through the Union walls and are like, ha ha ha, we'll be taking this, and steal back Isaac because they need him to complete the Incredible Machine by midnight so they can activate the Shadow Crystal. Isaac complied because they threatened to kill his sister or something.
Yeah, it's kinda dark.
So new plan, now I have to get Isaac back and basically destroy the machines that were protecting their building / Incredible Machine. We basically just waltz right through the front doors of the headquarters. Heh, that'll stop people from entering. What? How did you get in here? And battle our way up to Isaac, who's like, you're a bit too late. So you run to the top, defeating the Sinus Trio every floor of the way, and grab the last Tears of Prince's gem. And you get to the top where you meet the Dim Sun president, Blake Hall, for the first time, and he's like, you're too late. It's time for darkness. Get her, Darkrai! And then Darkrai just starts dipping me into darkness, and Keith has to come save me on his Staraptor.
Yes! Finally a villain boss that does something that actually makes sense and tries to kill the main protagonist. What did these guys ever done?
So Darkrai's like, well, then I'm gonna just dip these guys into the darkness, and throws Blake and his assistant into the void. Haha, but I decide to capture and free Darkrai anyway with the help of the Tears of Princes and save the day. Now, Pokemon Ranger is a big game. It took me about 24 full hours to get through the game, so I had to leave out a lot, and I mean a lot, of other points in the story. There's even a bunch of side quests that are actually pretty entertaining and funny you can complete that help power up your styler. There's one where this guy says he researches smells and wants me to bring him the stench of a muck. So you do it, and he's like, yes, and puts it in a jar. Then later on in the game, he pops up again, and this time asks for a Weezing and a Skuntank, to which he's like, yes, and puts them in jars. Then he's like, thanks, dude, and you never see him again.
I actually forgot I've done this quest, so this kinda gave me a surprise laugh.
The dialogue is absolutely amazing. This game has probably the best writing out of any Pokemon game I know of. Team Dim Sun is obviously the star of the show, and whenever they come on screen, you know they're gonna have something funny to say. At one point, while I was trying to get into their secret base in the volcano,
you remember all the Pokemon hacks where they have the move Lava Surf? Well, I searched it up, and this is the first and only Pokemon game that you can actually travel on lava. And that is really cool.
So all of the music that plays when they're around is awesome. I was jamming out whenever I was running around their base.
Yeah, the music in this game is absolutely fantastic. Especially the Team Dim Sun ones. Just listen to the Team Dim Sun HQ music. In my opinion, I think it surpasses most of the other evil teams in the main series games. Also, listen to the Darkrai theme of this game. I bet if you put it in the Gen 4 remakes, it would definitely boost Game Freak's money.
It's a bummer this game isn't super popular. I know it's got a small cult following, but it definitely deserves to be more well-known, and I really consider it one of the top Pokemon games out there, just on writing alone. It's not a hard game, but I mean, Pokemon isn't meant to be a difficult game series anymore.
Hey, it was hard for me, okay? It was so hard, sometimes I had to use cheats just to get through. Please don't kill me.
I can see some people getting a bit tired of the capture system since it doesn't change much throughout the game, but honestly, again, I think the story and dialogue far make up for the semi-repetitive capture and battle system. Now, I know I kind of just talked about the entire plot, but if you're curious about playing it yourself, there's so much I left out, and there's still a lot to discover about the game, so I highly recommend it. I'm being honest when I say I didn't even cover a third of what happens in the game, and there were a lot of funny moments I really wanted to talk about that I just didn't have room for in the script. I'm just trying to convince you to play the game yourself at this point because I think it's just that funny of a game, but I'll stop.
Alright, that's the end of her video. If you're a die-hard Pokemon fan, I really think you should get this game. Like she said, the writing's incredible, and the gameplay is not that bad either. What, still not convinced? You remember when Gen 5 had a sequel and it was praised for its in-depth storytelling? The Ranger series had 3 games and all of the games fit into the same timeline. Shadows of Almia is the sequel, and Guardian Signs is the trilogy. First, the original installment introduces what a Pokemon Ranger is and explains to you all the basics. Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia makes you climb up the ranks by introducing the Ranger School, and at the end you become one of the only 12 top Rangers in the world. Which, they only introduced 4 top Rangers in the game, but I speculate that they are these guys. And in Guardian Signs, you literally start off as the top Ranger, and you get sent from the Almia region to the Oblivia region. As a Pokemon game, I think the Ranger series world building is done so well. Partly why Shadows of Almia is so good is because it expands on the first game so much. There are even scenes that show the evil team from the first game, and in the second game they redeem themselves by forming a band. Sometimes incidents from its predecessor would also be brought up, so you can treat the 3 games as a really big story. Hey guys, how are you doing? Honestly, I never thought that anyone would review my favorite Pokemon game, so when she did it, I knew I had to make a video about it. Actually, when I started this channel, I was heavily inspired by Jaden Animations and The Odd Ones Out. So if you like my content, I think you'll like hers too. Also, besides the Pokemon Sword and Shield one, this is my first reaction video, so tell me if you like it. If you like it, please subscribe, like, and share the video. Or if you want to get hints of the next video or see some designs that I draw, you can follow me on Instagram. I'll put the link in the description below. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.